Hey guys, Katie here with For the Love of Leftovers. Thanks for coming into my studio with me today. I am going to show you a project that I am working on. Taking food items from food pantries and upscaling them a bit. Listen, you may be hard on money, things may be tough, but you don't have to eat like it is. And I'm here to show you exactly how. So the first thing that we are going to work on is a chili mac is essentially what I'm going to call it here. So let me show you the ingredients that we got going on for this first recipe. I'm going to take you behind the scenes on how we can glam up this recipe for your family so it's like more visually appealing as well as taste just a little bit better than just throwing things from cans and boxes into a pot. Okay, so here we have just some regular old macaroni. You can use any pasta for this. This here is like the equivalent of a can of chili. This is essentially the liquid. What it said on it was that it was a no bean chili. So really here we've just got a whole lot of flavor going on, and I know it doesn't look good, but we're gonna fix that. Over here is one of the ways that we are going to zhuzh it up. So I've got paprika here, a good amount of it. And then we've got our beef here, our ground beef. Then here we have a can of diced tomatoes. And then a good amount of Italian herb seasoning. So the only two things that I am putting in this that are mine from home are the seasonings. These other four things, the macaroni, the chili, the diced tomatoes, and the beef, this was all from the food pantry. So you could just combine these things and have a meal. We're just going to bring it up a little bit next level with these seasonings. Let's get to cooking. Okay, so the first thing we've got going is we've got a pot of water that's got to get boiling. Now let's grab our meat. We're going to get that browning, and then as it browns, we are going to add in some seasoning. So I am not adding in any oil. I am just going to add the beef right to the skillet, and we're going to get our little chopper and get it chopping up. And then we're going to add in our seasonings as it browns, as it cooks. We are not adding any salt, because I am assuming there's probably, even though it says low sodium, there's probably a good amount of salt in the no bean chili mix. So we can taste for salt at the end and add it at the end if we need to. You can also top with cheese, which will give more to that salty flavor. Okay, so now this is all cooked down. I've removed all of the grease. Now we're going to add in our seasonings and bring it back up. And so we want the seasonings to get nice and hot. One of the secrets when working with seasonings is that you do want to cook them. You want to get some heat on them. It's like opening up pores if you think about it. I know that might sound weird and gross, but it is like activating, opening up the flavor nodules of the spices, especially spices like turmeric. They really need to be overheat in order to activate the good properties of it. So what we're doing is we're cooking it like you would a taco mix. Let me show you. So I've got all of our seasonings in here, and we're just going to heat this up, cook it like a little taco mix, and then we're going to add in the can of diced tomatoes with that juice, and it's going to effectively deglaze the pan so that all of this kind of stuck on seasoning gets worked back in to our meat. Okay, we're going to pour in our tomatoes, and we're going to pour in our macaroni because that water is ready. So you're just going to take your little spatula, and as all this sauce and water, juice rather, hits the pan, you're just going to scrape the bottom of it. And if you've got cast iron like I do, use a wooden utensil. That way you're not going to actually scratch any of the enamel or any of the actual cast iron. As you can see, all of that seasoning is now coming up off the pan. Super easy. And of course, make sure to give your macaroni a little stir. I'm just using the same utensil, not worried about dirtying anything up. It's all going into the same pot at the end. Okay, so now all we're gonna do is we're going to put in that chili mix, and then we're just gonna simmer this. That's all we're gonna do. We're gonna simmer it until our mac is ready, and then we will combine it all together. Might even put this into a casserole dish and top it with some cheese. We're gonna see how liquid heavy it is, because if it's not super liquid heavy, it would make a good casserole. But if it's a little more liquidy, like chili, then we'll add cheese when we plate it. You could even add a can of beans to this. You could add more meat. You could add some sausage, some Italian sausage, some ground pork. You could also shred up some carrots and put some carrots in here just to add a little more vegetable and hide it from the kids. Here's our final chili mix, and so I'm going to turn this right down to low. I'm going to make sure to keep stirring it. We don't want any of this to burn to the bottom. That doesn't look bad at all. So we're just going to wait for the pasta to get done and mix it all together. Okay, so our pasta is done. I've drained it, and now we're just going to take this sauce here and dump it right in. Okay, so this has now all been mixed together, and as you can see, it's not as saucy as maybe you thought it was going to be. It's a little bit more of a goulash. So what you can do here is you can just serve it like this and top it with cheese, parsley, whatever you would like, or we can transfer this to a casserole dish. And I think I'm going to show you that option. I'm going to reserve some for my kids that can't have cheese, but then I'm going to pour the rest of it into a casserole dish. Okay, so this is what it looks like, topped with mozzarella cheese, about 8 ounces. It was half of a block. And this is a thick, very thick casserole dish. So this is making a ton of it. You could even do layers. So you could put half of the pasta mix in, cover it with cheese, the other half of the pasta mix, cover it with cheese. And so you get almost like this lasagna noodle chili mac bake. That would be delicious. But I just had half a block left, so I just put that all right on top, and we are going to get this into a 350-degree oven. Once my oven starts working, we're having issues, okay? We're having issues. This has to be on in order for that to go up. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But we're going to get this casserole into the oven, get it melted, and I'll show you it when it comes out. Okay, here we go. Look at that deliciousness. It's a little brown on top because I did put on the broil, and then ADHD squirrel brain went and did something else. So that is definitely a bit more crispy than it should be. But doesn't that look amazing? Let me show you. We're going to take a scoop of it out. I'm over here trying to photograph it. Ooh, look at that, delicious. Right, we're going to try it here in just a second.
Do I have what it takes to make you fall in love with me?
So now that we've photographed it, we've cooked it, we've done all the things, now we're going to taste test it. I know that might sound a little weird to taste test it after the fact, but that's what I do. And then I make adjustments, and any adjustments are reflected in the recipe that you end up getting on the blog. And yes, I am used to eating my food cold and somewhat watered down from the spray. But that is the only photo hack that I use because I want to make sure that my food looks just like it's going to when you make it at your house. So there's lots of food photographers out there that'll use oils and grease and lipstick on strawberries and things like that. Listen, you can make even the cheapest of food look and taste delicious without getting all kinds of crazy and fake with it, okay? Even this food pantry food can taste like $1,000,000. This is something I would make again and make just because, whether it's food pantry food or not. My kids will eat this, no problem. Got good flavor, makes for a great freezer meal if you're into that kind of thing. So let me know down in the comments or by subscribing to this video if you're into this type of content. Are you interested in these low-income food pantry haul makeover meals, that type of thing? Let me know. If you are, I will be sure to make more delicious recipes like this using food pantry food items. Whether we actually go there or not, I can always buy the food items myself and give you some ideas. Now you can get this recipe up on the blog at For the Love of Leftovers. So I'll see you over there. Bye.